Hi everybody, here's another episode of Adaptive Descriptive Jujitsu. My name's Brian. I got my dummy Lamont behind me, Becky at the camera.
Hey.
Today we're going to talk about the mechanics of the toehold, my bread and butter. But I probably don't do it as well as some people, but let's get started. First, I'm going to show you how it goes on my own foot. So I'm going to be a foot model today. So when the the foot is placed in front of you, all right, I'm going to take my same side arm and wrap it underneath. So right now I'm showing you my right foot. So I'm taking my right hand and putting it under my ankle. All right. Now with the opposite side hand, my left hand, I'm going to cover just the toes, and I'm wrapping my fingers around the pinky side, the baby toe side. So essentially, I'm just gonna bend down at the joints. So let's break it down to a science. So in a lot of ways, your fingers are a lot like your toes. They're what's called digits. But in the fingers, you have three bones: the proximal, distal, and medial digit. Now on the toes, you have two bones, proximal and distal. We're gonna cover both of those and kind of make it flex down, kind of like a gooseneck. So what I'm gonna do, I got my same side arm underneath. I'm gonna cup my toes by the pinky side and flex those down. And I'm gonna connect my hand that goes under my ankle to my wrist that has my toes. So I'm gonna flex the toes down and lift up on the same side elbow, kind of flaring that up. It's essentially a legal heel hook, because for a heel hook to happen, the heel is lifted at the sky. Now, it's lifted at the sky to create tension on the knee, from the ankle up to the knee, but we're just doing a figure eight and making that same motion by attacking the toes. So one more time, I take my right hand, the same side hand, underneath the ankle, grab my toes, bend them down. At the same time, I cup my wrist and lift up on my elbow, creating that angle where my heel is lifted up. Now, what that configuration does with the two hands connected creates a triangle. So, one defense against the toe hold is to get your other foot inside that triangle and pry it apart. Another instance is if somebody is cupping your toes, you automatically want to get your foot to the ground, because they can't create that angle to bend your toes down towards the mat, and can't really attack the foot at that point unless they're doing a heel hook. So it's a good attack. You have to make sure to do it slowly with your training partners, because it is a small joint manipulation, so the tap comes on quickly. So just a disclaimer. Now It can be found in a lot of different places. Wherever I can create that triangle with my hands, I make sure to take advantage of it. But it's also used in times when you're threatening something or kind of baiting your opponent for something else. So I'm going to show you guys how we use it to pass something called Z guard, which is a form of half guard. So, as you can see, Lamont got an upgrade. Just he hasn't worked out yet. So, he's got legs, he's got feet, he's even got socks with heels on them. So, yeah. So, in order to be in his half guard, I'm on my knees in front of him. He's on his back. So he takes one leg that's inside and kind of goes in between my knees and hooks one of my legs. All right. So in this case, he's hooking my right leg. Now, there's a leg to my right. That's gonna bend up at the knee and kind of create a frame or like a go across my chest like a seatbelt. So that's kind of blocking me from passing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna threaten the toe hold so it gets his foot to the ground. So the way I do this is kind of have to turn my torso and bring my left hand would be the same side as his left over the knee shield, the Z guard. So I got my hand underneath by his ankle, and with my right arm, I'm going to cup his toes. I'm going to create that triangle, and I'm going to lift my elbow as I'm flexing the toes down. He doesn't want that, so he straightens it, puts it to the ground. So what I'm going to do is come forward, place my elbow under his armpit, and fall to the opposite side hip. And then I'm gonna walk my foot up, my foot that is hooked by his foot, and then I'm gonna back step, that's the right word, for a negative pass. So I back step, put my hand in his hip on the same side I am on, and then kind of hip ice and bring my knees up under me, and then back to side control. All right, one more time. So I got one leg in between his legs. He's hooking it, and then he creates that knee shield. So I'm gonna bring my opposite side arm over as I twist my torso to his ankle, cup his toes, create that angle, lift my elbow. He doesn't want that toe hold. He straightens out his foot. I come forward and bring my elbow to his armpit. On the same side that he had the knee shield on. And I'll walk up my foot that was hooked is I drop my left hip to the ground. So my left hip is on the opposite side of his torso that my elbow's on. Then I'm gonna back step, block his hip with my hand. Change my hip angle, come forward, and maintain regular side control. So I just passed his Z-guard. Alright, so hope that helped. Any questions, comments, make sure to write them down. So there you go.